in your life.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Anime Nation. Today, we're talking about the movie that swept the anime world by storm, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe to help support and see more great content like the Marvel Mondays Initiative, the Penultimate Conquest podcast, and of course, Cross Media Show. Also, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which gives you one free Twitch subscription. So give us that sub, and don't miss out on any of this week's content. Check our website for VODs and the schedule for the rest of the month to see what we're doing, which has finally been updated. Now, without further ado, I am the host of Anime Nation, Ryan, and I've got some lovely guests with me today. The SNK Lore Master, regular on the show, Fee from Point in Progress. How's it going, Fee?
It's going well. I am very, very excited to be talking about this movie today, and I'm really happy that you invited me. So thank you.
Awesome. And secondly, the man from behind it all, the secret member, the director of the Penultimate Conquest, Ruben. How's it going, Ruben?
It's going pretty good. Yeah. I got nothing with you to say, Ryan. I'm sorry.
All right. Then just a little housekeeping before we really get into things. This week we're still recovering from an E3, but that doesn't mean the content train stops. We always gotta keep content.
That's
So
right.
go to the YouTube channel, check out things such as Episode 3 Loki review, Stats on Stats, Richie, me, and Joel talking books. And you'll also be able to find this here in a couple of days. And literally anything that happened at E3, no matter how bad and off rails we went with it, it's up there. Go check out the PC Gamers Showcase. It was a time.
Did it really happen? Is the question.
I don't know. It felt like a different dimension.
Yes, it did.
And with that, let's get straight into this. Well, first off, your thoughts on Demon Slayer. Because I feel like we need to begin with what do you think of the franchise before we get into the first major franchise movie for it. And with that, I'm going to send it over to Ruben. With what's your thoughts on Demon Slayer, Ruben?
Oh God, we were just talking about this. I have problems with the anime. It's a really good anime. It's just that the characters of this show get in the way of it being great. But
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I personally don't get where you're coming from, but I can see how some of them are a bit annoying.
You see, every 5 minutes you have either one or two characters just screaming at the top of their lungs for no reason. And it's just like the main character is also kind of whiny. Like, get it together. This isn't Gohan from Dragon Ball. Like, come on.
All right, all right. Some harsh words to start this off with. Fee, what about you? What do you think of Demon Slayer?
Honestly, Demon Slayer is probably in my top five.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So Ruben,
Okay.
watch your back.
I'm sorry.
Um, Honestly, I think they did such a phenomenal job. Actually, you know what? I probably say top 10. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's in the top area, and I think this movie definitely pushed it towards like the top 5 for me. Because it's just the art, the actual storytelling, the actual like flow of the actual series makes a lot of sense. And one thing that I really appreciate, and quite honestly, it's kind of almost overlooked in shonen in a way that they recognize mortality and they recognize like, hey, you know what, you can do some crazy stuff, but you're gonna have to recover for 4 months afterwards. Like, it actually takes like the human and like understanding of like the anatomy and like how, yeah, they have some crazy abilities, but you need to also find that balance between like strength and like actually like mental and physical strength. Yeah, you might have the mental strength there, but you also need to like work on your physical and like back and forth. Whereas some shonen just like episode 1, the most powerful character in the series. What up? Like wham wham. Like it doesn't really make any sense, but I think just the storytelling, oh my god. Some of these stories and some of the creatures or demons that you meet throughout the series break my heart. Like I remember like the drummer. We're not going to talk about what happened to him, but like that entire saga, I was a mess after. I had to like take a I had to take a walk because I'm like
Also,
I was
what a sweet power.
so
That was so cool. The
one of
creativity in the monsters, for both sides of their powers, from the humans' breathing techniques to the demons, the demon arts, are just amazing. The creativity behind them is fantastic.
yeah. There's one particular demon, and we'll actually get into talk about him today. Needs some more creativity. However, everything else, I solid, like absolutely fantastic. I was when I first heard about Demon Slayer and I heard all the hype, I'm like, it's not gonna be that great. And then afterwards, I'm like, hell the fuck yes, I need to get into this.
I
Yeah,
felt the exact same way as like, because I got in around I got right in right before like episode 18 because I remember all
yeah,
everybody's like episode 18 is gonna blow your mind. So I got in right before the spider arc, power watched all. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is really good, and it just kept getting better. And I'm like, I get this. This is top tier.
yeah.
And with that, let's move into now our first reactions to and thoughts of the movie, which we'll start you off with Ruben. Ruben, what did you think of the film?
The film was definitely longer than like it could have been cut a little more than it was, but like this movie was phenomenal. Like the show has such a great arc style, not arc style, sorry, art style, and it's just like, oh my god, like you get sucked into it real quick. It yeah, it was a great movie. Great, I guess, character arc for someone we didn't really know that much about. But like, God, man, if I didn't tear up at the end, I'm not human, but I did.
All right, I I totally agree. Fee, what about you?
I will admit, like, I agree to some extent what Ruben said. Going from the Mugen train and then going into the fight that we saw at the end. Like at first, I'm like, why is this happening? Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't read the manga. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
specifically what's happening. But then, like, it kind of one, it makes sense because now this is probably the continuation that we're going to be seeing in the winter season with Demon Slayer season 2. And so that makes sense why like yeah, there's like the big bad guy, but then there's like now number 3. Like fuck you. Like I am
Mm-hmm.
he on site just
Yeah,
complete like death from everybody. But it's the art style and the fact that they can I find with some anime movies, they try to either like make it too good looking and then they like put it to an extent that it doesn't even feel the same way as the actual show itself. But
Hi,
I
my
feel like
hero up movie too. How you doing?
whoa, let's not get too crazy here. All right,
well,
let's not get too crazy.
it kind of frustrates me when anime like when movies think they need to do that when the actual like fans want to see maybe like an enhanced version of the show. But honestly, it felt like I was just watching this show because the show is so well done and so high res as it is
Yeah,
that they didn't need to go crazy. Yes, there was like here and there that I was just like, okay, they did a little bit more than usual, but it wasn't a huge step up, which honestly makes me really excited for this particular film because I was like, oh god, it's going to be like an anime movie. Because usually, I'm going to be honest, I usually skip anime movies specifically because of that problem, or it might be an arc that's not even connected to the
Yeah, usually
series.
they're not non-canonical. I love that
I hate it.
this would this would have been a about I'd say 5 episode arc if it was done in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it got it 2 hours to just flush out, do that. Mugen Train's done with now. That
Yeah,
arc is done. It's canonical. It is T to T with manga, and now we move directly into the Red Light District arc. It's so easy. It's flows super well. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Oh, so good.
I remember
It's
I had a problem with when they first announced this movie. I was like, well, why isn't it not just like an anime arc? Like, I had even asked you guys. I was like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. Why would you make this into a movie when you could just put this into the show? And Ryan was like, it's a short arc, but like it needs to be fleshed out. And I think they did it perfectly. Like this, there was nothing wrong in this movie that I would have changed besides the timing. Like It was perfect.
Now, from here on out, just to make this easier on ourselves, and let's be real here. If you're watching this, you've seen the movie. We are going to have spoilers here, so this is your big spoiler warning. The rest of this podcast is spoilers on. Hands off the wheel. We'll be able to talk about what we want here. And with that, let's get into favorite moments from the movie. What what were some of your favorite moments, Ruben?
The end. The end was just like perfect. Just getting more info on Rengoku, that scene with his mom. Oh my
Oh god, the
god.
scene with his mom,
Jesus Christ. Like,
it brought me to tears.
yeah, when I first saw Rengoku in the anime, I was like, oh, this guy's going to be like a kind of a dick, but like he wasn't in the movie. He was just like a nice guy, which was kind of refreshing for me. Um I did also. Oh, Ryan's out.
Oh no.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Oh man, tasty, tasty. What are you talking about, Christian?
Yeah, that's what he says at the beginning of the movie. He's like, tasty.
Oh yeah,
tasty,
that's right. That's right.
tasty,"
That's right. That's right. That's
Because
right.
he's eating the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't rewatch this movie.
Dude.
I watched it when it first came out.
Crazy.
It's still fresh in my memory. Well then, huh?
Man, what a
What a show! All right, guys, thank you for joining us. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. Christian, by the way, hello.
Oh God. Sophie, what did you like about this movie?
Well, okay. Actually, I would like to like specifically comment on what Christian specifically said, which is Demon Slayer. Let's get some cool female characters, please.
Yeah,
Um,
we have
there's
one already.
there are some really cool female characters in this show.
Yeah.
Nezuko is probably one of the like, yes, for a lot of the time she has to stay in a box because she's a demon, but
Yes.
her assistance on the train was vital to be able to continue.
Oh yeah.
Like, yes, Zenitsu was able to complete a lot of tasks, and yes, his subconscious like fighting ability is second to none, but they needed Nezuko. Like, Nezuko was actually the one who brought everybody out of the trance.
Yeah.
Yes, like Tanjiro was able to get out himself because he realized like, oh, this is how I need to get out of this particular space. But it was Nezuko who pushed him in the right direction and set him ablaze, and was just like, hey, you're like, it kind of snapped him into it and realized like, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. This is not who I am anymore.
Right.
And Shinobu is also whoo absolutely bonkers. She is one of the girls who has the butterfly technique.
Yeah.
Um, Kano, who's also a part of the same group. Oh my goodness, who else? Tamayo from the actual show, who is technically a demon, but she is a healer and kind of helps Tanjiro early on.
Mm-hmm.
Also absolutely fantastic female character. I know, like, for some particular, like, especially shonens, female characters usually like, oh, here's like a small role that you have and you're the healer or you're like the side type of character. But I feel like with Demon Slayer, as well as things like Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah.
all the females in that show like literally kick ass. So I'm really excited to see these particular animes influence more strong female leads in other anime. There have been some in the past, don't get me wrong, but it's really cool. Also, they're not half naked, which is
That's
really
also a plus. Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Yeah.
because usually like, oh god, no, there's just certain animes that I love, but
Fairy Tale.
Fairy Tail's one. They also have the same issue with like Blue Exorcist because one of the actual Exorcist women is wearing short shorts and a bikini top. Everyone else is wearing clothes and robes, but she's wearing that outfit.
Yeah.
Which, like, I get she was supposed to be a wild child as a kid, but I feel at the same time they could have.
Covered her up.
Like, she doesn't need to cover up all the way, but it just doesn't make any sense for her fighting style whatsoever.
Right. Oh boy.
I don't know. But yeah, this movie was insane. And I wanted to wait to, like, talk about my favorite moments when Ryan gets back.
Yeah. Ryan is on the Mugen train. Let's go help him. I don't think he can be helped.
That's really concerning if he's on the Mugen train.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, random side note. I know exactly what I was really excited for when
What?
it came to E3. And I actually have my background to show you.
Okay, give
Yeah.
me 1 second. Oh man. Wait, what is that? Was that the Ace Attorney game? Oh.
I'm a massive Ace Attorney fan. So...
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that.
Mhm.
You don't look like an Ace Attorney fan.
What is an Ace Attorney fan supposed to look like,
Well,
Ruben?
let me rephrase. From what I know about you, I would not have guessed that you were an Ace Attorney fan.
Okay, so
As a
I
person
mean,
that likes a lot of board games.
oh well, I like board games are great and all, but like I grew up playing investigation games like Nancy Drew, like
Okay.
all those particular games. And I've always been a huge fan of like Sherlock, and I've always enjoyed watching like mystery shows. So having Ace Attorney is something I'm really into.
Okay.
So when I got to actually get to Nintendo does not hide, as you may have noticed, Capcom showed Ace Attorney, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then Nintendo was like, nah, they don't talk about it at all.
It's already been
And
shown.
well, it's not that it's already been shown. Is anytime an Ace Attorney game has been released, Nintendo doesn't talk about it.
Really? Huh.
No, they'll like mention it in passing, but they never have actually given it a highlight at E3 or during any of their showcases.
That's weird. I wonder why.
I don't know. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Especially since they brought these two IPs that are apparently really big in Japan over to an English audience. You would assume that they would have shown it. Also, that argument also doesn't work because they talked about Monster Hunter for Nintendo.
Yeah.
But they didn't bring up Ace Attorney, so who knows? But yeah.
Is that like for every Ace Attorney? Because I know I do remember them talking about the DS ones.
They mention them, but they don't
But
go
they
into
don't.
the detail.
Gotcha. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm just
I guess it's not that big of a seller. I don't know.
it's not that it does well. I just don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I got really excited and I was like
What are you
hyping over
hiding,
it
Nintendo?
as everyone on our stream was just like, it's a fee game, and then they just let me talk about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, because no one else had played it.
There we go.
Scarlet Nexus. Oh my goodness, Scarlet Nexus. I have not played Scarlet Nexus before.
Yeah, I don't expect you to. It hasn't come out yet. Comes out this Friday.
It looks cool.
It looks cool, but from what I've heard,
I'm back. I'm
Oh.
alive.
there we go.
Woo!
Christian said
the
you were on the
eighth-
Mugen train.
The AZ Heat just doesn't do well to our PCs, so occasionally they just die.
Oh,
Okay.
It's 115 outside.
Jesus Christ.
The lid to our trash cans melt.
why do people live there?
What?
So they're redoing the parking, like what's it called, to my
Driveway?
apartment complex, like the
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
They had to stop doing it because stuff wouldn't settle. The asphalt kept melting.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm back now. It's okay.
All right.
Nice.
Um,
Where were we?
favorite parts of the movie.
Favorite parts of the movie. Fee,
Yes.
what were some of your favorite parts of this movie?
Whew. Well, anytime that we got to see Kyojo on the screen was pretty great. I guess I could call him Rengoku. I was very excited because I was like really excited about his character when like just the way that he acted. He definitely seemed odd in the anime, and then being able to see like one. I would also have the same reaction if I just got to sit on a train and eat food. I would just be like, tasty, tasty. It was the comedy relief that we needed.
Yeah.
I also I I know a lot of people think he's really dumb, but when Zenitsu went into essentially his subconscious form, and then
Oh, his dream state's adorable.
his dream state is super great. I also just like the dream segments of this was fantastic. I just like it goes from like really serious with Tanjiro, and then Zetsu has like his date day with Nazi.
Hmm. They're having a lovely time.
Oh, so cute. And then like
When they jump
Inosuke
over the waterfall, beautiful.
and then Inosuke with his survey team. He's like, survey team.
Oh yeah.
Survey team.
I love that the train became a centipede.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the absolute. That was like hell. Like literally, my notes. I write hell no. I hate centipedes,
Oh,
which makes this.
that makes a lot of sense. They are a symbol of death in Japan. So I thought it was very cool that they made it into a death train because it was a death
Oh
train.
yeah. Definitely.
Oh my god, I hate centipedes, guys, with a burning passion.
Oh, they're terrifying. They're terrifying.
They're so gross. But no, those the fighting scenes were absolutely. They're like there was way too many of my favorite scenes. But yeah, I would probably have to say the dream sequences were absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, something they cut out of this that's a part of this arc when you meet him, but they never explain is why he says delicious after every time he eats.
Why?
It's because he never knows when his last meal will be, so he always wants to cherish his last meal.
Oh, okay. That's pretty dark, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not happy.
Okay.
He's a man of honor.
I can
No,
tell.
my favorite part definitely anytime Rengoku is on screen. I think he's a great character.
Yeah.
He leaves lasting things that I'm pretty sure will stick with Tanjiro for the rest of his rest of his life. He some of the lessons and stuff he gave of
Yeah.
like honor and all that. Any of the fight scenes were just hands down amazing.
Yep.
But something that I think just because of how well it went with the animation that you're not noticing as much is the music. I thought the music in this was fantastic. And I'm not just talking, of course the Lisa song at the end fucking slaps. It's fucking Lisa. She does no wrong. Like even for bad anime, she put out bangers. Crossing Fields for Sword Art Online, banger. But that's
Yeah.
beside the point. All the music slapped, especially a lot of the action themes are fantastic. Just so many fantastic moments. Now, the next one's an interesting question. Any problems we've had with it? Any problems with the movie?
You know what? I have something.
Ooh, what you
The
got for me, Fee?
the tears. They're a little bit much. Like they are like not just like a little bit. Like I would understand like a little bit, but it almost like took me out of the sad moment because of how big these tears are. Like it's just like
I get that. I get that. There is one though when Inosuke cries through his borehead.
oh,
That got me.
that
Yeah.
makes okay, that would make sense for the larger tears, but the others, it's just like okay, like how are you
No,
able to
Tanjiro's just a punk little bitch.
Yep.
once again, he is a cancer. I understand.
They do
As a
cry. You're not wrong.
I was crying anytime there's tears. Like anytime there's tears on like a show in person, I'm crying too because I'm a sympathetic crier, so I get it.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. some of my problems with it were, I think the first villain is, I wish they fleshed him out a bit more.
Okay, yes.
I like he show up in the end of season 1. Like
Yeah.
he quivers beneath God, I can never think of his name, Michael Jackson.
The big boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just love you. Muzan?
Yeah, Muzan, thank you. But he dresses, you
Close
can't
enough.
tell me he
It's
doesn't
close
look like
enough.
Michael
I know
Jackson.
it is,
It's
but,
close
like,
enough. Yeah.
But that, and like, so he has some stuff to him, but a lot of the other demons have like really sad, tragic backstories. And he didn't really feel like that, or they never went into it if he did.
Yeah.
He was, and then I don't know. I've never been a fan of the hand and the mouth and eyes and the palms.
Oh yeah, me either.
You mean Pan's
Like,
Labyrinth? Like, does...
yeah, like the Pale Man, or the guy from Naruto who's the Akatsuki member who does like the clay
Yeah.
stuff, all that kind of thing.
I don't... I think, like, it just kind of irritated me, and they're very creative when it comes to, like, the names of, like, different abilities. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, he just kept on saying, dream,
Yeah.
dream,
Mm-hmm.
dream, 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 dream.
Dream. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
And I'm like, okay, calm down. Okay, like, by that point, like, if you know the guy's going to be able to get, like, almost like troubleshooting, like, if it doesn't work the first time and it does not work the third time, you stop and you try to reevaluate. And he just kept on doing the exact same thing over and over. And yeah, it, like, stopped Tanjiro, but at the same time, it, like, didn't stop him completely. And at that point, you
Now,
might be,
I definitely agree with that.
yeah.
Thank you, Brian, for the follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was about to start that as well. Thank you, Brian. The one thing I had though for that was in the part where he has taken over the train fully. The train is him now.
Mm-hmm.
When he was doing that and Tanjiro couldn't tell what was reality and what was that, and he almost sliced his own head off.
Yeah.
That scene was really cool. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, for
okay, now
sure.
you're starting to play with his brain and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. And I like that Inosuke, just because he wears a massive head, it had no effect on him.
Well, I mean,
Because the boy,
I like that because it actually made sense. Like, I
yeah,
don't know
Once
how.
again,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
yeah.
how he sees through the mask.
Does he look through? Now, I've had this conversation with my friends. Do you think he's looking through the eyes, or do you think he looks through the nose? Because I think he looks through the nose.
It might be through the nose because like that'd be pretty intense to look through the eyes on the side.
which
Yeah.
makes sense why they got confused, because they
Yeah.
kept on, like, trying to do the eye effects around the actual boarhead's
Mm-hmm.
eyes,
Yeah.
but nothing was happening. And also the boarhead eyes are going out this way, so
Mm-hmm.
he wouldn't be able to, like, maneuver correctly.
Right.
So he'd have to be looking through the nostrils of this freaking boarhead, which is why he got away with that ability for so long. And I appreciate the fact that they kind of take a hint, like, they explain that the reason why everyone was able to go to sleep in the first place was not because of, like, the eye ability, but it was the blood that was activated through the actual ticket stubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it, like, that's why he was able to go to sleep the first time, but after that he didn't go to sleep
Mm-hmm.
because they were only using the eye ability and not the blood.
Yeah, I love that the blood all was in the ticket stub.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Now, I thought everything to do with the dreaming was fantastic. From the use of the kids trying to find out where they are and just like getting to the soul part of it to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I love that each one, Tanjiro is a plane of just pure bliss and almost contentment. It's sky, and it's just the sky. It's
Yeah.
floating. And then you go to Rengoku's and it's a flame. It's just fire. It's just a raging fire. But she doesn't show no surface. He doesn't seem like the angry guy. That's what you expect out of the guy with like all the scars on his face and stuff.
Yeah.
The one who like
Mhm.
absolutely hates demons. I'd expect that from him, but Rengoku is just fire. It's that emotion. So I
Yeah.
thought that was real cool.
Well, I think, like, what is it that's associated with, they can actually kind of show it like earlier on in the movie where it like has the chart and it shows fire equals love, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like the branch off of it. So that's his passion to be able to continue moving
Mm-hmm.
forward, and like his passion to fight and his passion to save everybody, because you see it
The
throughout the actual movie to the point where he used all of his abilities to save everyone on the train. Not one person died on the train.
That's
no.
We
right.
don't know about the conductor who got his leg crushed, but like, you know what, once again on site because he stabbed
Well,
Tinjiro.
well, again, oh, he got out. Inosuke saved him.
Yeah,
He may have shaved him. We don't know that. We never got confirmation on that.
No.
we did not.
So he could be bald now. That's a possibility. But no, I thought that was fantastic. And now
A word from our
that we've gone
sponsors.
into problems we've had, favorite moments.
Ooh.
Where do you think the show's going next?
Before we
I-
do that, let's get a word from our sponsors.
Let's get word from our sponsors.
Okay, we got a minute and 26 seconds.
Cool.
Sweet.
Okay. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay.
So is it just running an ad for people right now?
It is.
When did we get this?
Well, it's actually on Twitch. So anytime you could, you could just press a button and it does.
Can we just press a button for ads?
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's very fun. 6 people watching.
Yeah.
Suckers, grade A suckers.
Hell yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I am one of the 6 people.
Oh my god.
Really bolstering these numbers.
Well, you have to, you know. Gotta get
You
the
do.
views. 30 seconds left.
Man.
What?
The ending song to the Mugen Train has 80 million listens.
It's
On
so
Spotify.
good. That song's so good.
Yeah.
I cry every time I hear it, but it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but yeah. Oh, it's
2.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ryan, we're back.
We're back. We're back. All right. And now that we've talked about some of the problems with the thing, with the movie,
Mhm.
where do we think this leads for the show and like effects that this will have carrying on? Because
Oh,
I'm a semi manga reader.
mhm.
I've read parts of it, and I've had parts spoiled for me, but I do not know the whole picture.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
where do you think is going, Fee?
Well, I know only because I've heard it on the internet and you actually mentioned it earlier is the Red Light District arc. Um but I know for a fact currently on number like Tanjiro has like a list, and right now it's like Michael Jackson, who is Muzan, and then right underneath is number 3. He's like on site.
Akaza?
If I
Akaza?
see, yeah. Do they even mention his name? I know they say number 3 like multiple times. I just didn't know if they
I
mentioned it
think
in the
he
first.
personally mentions his name when he's talking to Rengoku.
Oh, does he? Which
Oh,
also, I think that's like another thing that like kind of slightly confused me, and I know we just talked about it, was like like Akaza's relationship with Rengoku, because he's just like, you need to become a demon, you need to become a demon, and he's like, absolutely not. And it like seemed like there was like some, who knows? Maybe that's explained. Maybe we understand a little bit more why he was so much on the make Rengoku a demon train.
He just
Um,
craves power. Anyone with power gets his respect, and Rengoku is the most powerful person he's ever fought.
oh, okay. Well, never mind that idea that they're going to actually explain that one.
Oh, don't worry. He gets a very tragic and depressing backstory.
Oh, fantastic. And I hope it's just as depressing, and by depressing I mean like literally nothing, when he gets ripped in the actual show, because
yeah.
that's what I'm currently looking forward to right now on site, is
Uh,
Akaza's eventual demise in the show. Also probably seeing more of Muzan, and then seeing some maybe growth. I'm hoping some growth when Zenitsu I'm hoping that there's some growth with him. And yeah, I think that's about it. And I know like with the red light district arc, it's a thing. So I'm interested to see where that takes us.
It's a very comical one. Like even the official art for it that they just put out, I think, a couple days ago, is main characters in cross dressing because that's a big part of the arc.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, I'm super pumped for this. Never
Oh,
mind.
it's really fun.
Oh my god. I'm so
It's all
excited.
about the flamboyant pillar and him trying to get them into the red light district.
Oh
It's just really
God.
fun. So
Um,
yeah, that's gonna be a good time. But where would you like to see this show go, Ruben, after Mugen Train?
I did have I forgot to mention I did have one problem. But Ryan, you had mentioned this before, but I wish that the main villain in this movie was kind of like the main villain in the first season. So like we got like a better story arc for him and some background for him, and then watch him get away, which would have been better. Like I would have felt more anger at the end of this movie if I just saw
Mhm,
him run away. I hope that the anime gets better with that if they do plan on doing more movies. Flesh out the if you're gonna do a side villain, flesh him out really good. I hope, like Fee said, Zenitsu, you gotta stop crying over everything, buddy. Like it's not the end of the world, okay? Tanjiro, just like get your shit together, bro. You also have to stop crying. Like again, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I know you've been through a lot, but like you can handle it, okay? You got this. Just focus. I do like the fact that he remembered to ask Rengoku about the like his father's dancing style. That was cool. I hope we get some more info on that next season. That'd be great. Him learning
mhm,
it would be cool. Um,
mhm.
yeah, that's all I got.
All right. I definitely, for me, I there is a lot of ways I think the show could go, but at the end of the day, if it keeps doing what it is, and it is just kind of cutting out some of the fluff from the manga and making a very concise, good storyline, just keep following that path. The manga was good. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you will have no problems. I think you will continue to be one of the fastest growing, fastest rising animes I've ever seen come out.
yeah.
And with that, it goes into my next thing is why do you think this got so popular? In a global pandemic, this movie outsold Spirited Away, Your Name, Weathering with You, all in a matter of months during a pandemic in Japan.
Insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's utterly insane. And I honestly don't have an answer for it. Fee, do you think you have any ideas of why it could have just it got this thunderous success?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that anime is so globally accepted now. When things like, yeah, Your Name came out around the time when it was like popular, but not as accepted, like as accepted as it is right now. And especially Spirited Away. Like, yes, Spirited Away did a fabulous job, and honest, once again, still one of like Hayao Miyazaki is one of my favorite like creators of all time,
Oh,
hands
he's
down.
goat. He's goat.
He's go like by like hands down. But I think it's more on the lines of like a lot of people who like it wasn't accepted before, now it is globally accepted to the point where it's like cool to like anime, which by the way it still boggles my mind that it's
Yeah.
cool to like anime.
Yeah, right?
So then when they come out with this, which everyone was obsessed with Demon Slayer, and one thing is a lot of like the the kids like it because a lot of it's shown on TikTok. Like they show like they the amount of times that I heard Lisa's voice on TikTok for months
Yeah.
after Demon Slayer came out as a show and then now to the movie, people got so hyped about it that I think things like TikTok and Twitter and these like social media platforms where people who originally shocker, people used to get bullied for liking anime. Now it's just like, man, did you see like Dragon Slayer over the weekend? It was fucking insane. So
Mhm.
I'm very excited that it did so well. And do I think it's better than Spirited Away? I don't know. I wouldn't say yes to that, but I think it's because of the time that it was released is why it became so popular.
Is it better than
All
Weathering with You? I'm gonna have to say
Mm.
yes. Weathering with You is kind of a disappointment for me.
Oh, I love Running of You. That movie's fantastic.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Ruben.
All right, Ruben, what do you think though? Why do you think this got such bolstering success?
I'm not really sure. I think definitely has to do with the art style. I think catches a lot of people when you see them doing the breathing techniques. Like that looks absolutely amazing. If I had seen that on screen and I wasn't watching this show, that would catch my eye immediately. Just because, like, oh my god, it looks so good. Um, I'm not really sure. It doesn't really do anything special, but at the same time it kind of does. Like the anime in and of itself kind of does like something special, but like kind of sort of not really, you know? Like
Well,
it's not something we haven't seen before. Like, oh yeah, something tragic happened, so now this character is going to become the best of whatever gets rid of what happened to him. If that makes
well, I
sense.
think like I get what you mean, but I think it also like yeah, something tragic happened, but I also think that the pandemic brought a lot of people together and people exploring new things like anime
Yeah.
Mhm.
and being able to be like, okay, like we went through a really shitty year, and what was one of the first movies that came out or like was available at the theaters when the
Mhm.
movie theaters started opening up again?
Yep.
The movie that's associated with the show that everyone was obsessed with,
Yep.
Mhm.
and I think this was once again timing for sure. Do I think it would have made more money if it had released before the pandemic? I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think it would have made such an impact. But with everyone watching it during the pandemic and once again, people getting introduced to all these genres, especially anime, that this is why it made so much money. It's specifically timing, and that's no gripes about the movie because once again I loved the movie and I think it was really really well done. But its timing is why they made so much money.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. Like, I didn't really think of the pandemic and how everybody has that anime friend. Like, you might have more than one in your friend group, but there's always one. And if you're stuck at
Hi, how you
home,
doing?
if you're stuck at home, you're gonna probably ask that person for like, "Hey, I need something good to watch. I watched all of Netflix. What what do you recommend?" At
Mhm.
99.9% of the time, it should be Demon Slayer is gonna get a recommendation.
Well, yeah, it also came out on Netflix during the pandemic, and when
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh, I don't want to watch anime because it's like, oh, it's subbed." Well,
Mhm.
you don't have a like
it's dubbed
you
now.
don't have an excuse. It's dubbed, and not only that, the dub is fantastic. If you
Yeah,
haven't watched the dub, I'd highly recommend checking it out because the voice actors themselves are very prominent in the voice acting community. We actually had a conversation before this. Is Inosuke, who plays Boarhead, is literally Aaron Yeager. He is the English voice actor to Aaron Yeager, which makes everything 10 times more hilarious because you're just picturing Aaron Yeager with a boar head on, running around acting like an idiot. And you're like, you know what? Season 4 wasn't that bad, I guess.
It's
oh,
like season 4, Aaron Yeager would have done that. Don't act like he wouldn't have.
I don't see that. Come on, don't.
Now, I put up some numbers here which are utterly insane.
Mhm.
Okay.
Premiering October 16th, 2020 in Japan, which Japan had a great handle on its pandemic, so people were able to go to theaters and go see this film when it
Yeah.
launched. It grossed over 500 million worldwide box office, making the highest grossing film of 2020 and the first time a non-Hollywood produced movie topped annual box office.
Jesus.
That's insane.
Which is
That
also a bad
is
thing.
Why is it a bad thing?
It's a bad thing for us because we're going to get more movies like, more Hollywood anime movies that we don't really want.
I don't think that will have this effect.
Okay. I hope not.
I think it'll have the opposite effect where they'll actually realize, like, you know what, maybe not everything. Well, that also, like, Parasite, and we're seeing a lot of, like, actual movies from Asia coming over that are, like, killing it in the box office. I'm thinking it's probably going to lead to more of these movies that are being made in the East being brought to the West rather than vice versa. Because it's been for years where, like, we send movies over there, like the Avengers, and
Yeah.
then all these other office hits. But then now we have these other movies where people are like, "Oh shit, this movie is actually great." But
Again, that's actually, you brought up something very fantastic there, Parasite.
yeah,
And it is from the Oscar speech of Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite.
Oh.
If you can get over the 1-inch barrier, which is subtitles, you will be open to a vast landscape of fantastic movies. And I stand by that.
I thought you were talking about Parasite, the show on Netflix.
No, we're not talking about the anime.
Okay.
We're not talking about
alright.
Mei. We're not talking about
Parasite
Mei.
was still good.
Oh,
Yeah,
Parasite is fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about Parasite for the inevitable Halloween episode of Anime Nation.
oh my god, I need to be a part of this episode. But side note, and I want, like, this is not associated with Train to Busan, but it's about a train, not Train to Busan. Well, that is what I'm going to be talking about. Don't freaking make an actual Western version of Train to Busan. It will not make any sense. There's a reason why the bullet. It's a Korean movie. It's about zombies. It did insanely well in the East, and then Hollywood's like, "Hey, let us make a Western movie."
I absolutely love Train to Busan. God, that movie slaps.
Yes, but they're like thinking about making an English version. I'm like, you don't need
It
bring
wouldn't work.
over the.
Just watch the sequel to Train to Busan, Peninsula. It was also good.
There you go. That was a random side note. I apologize for my rant. Either way,
It's fine. It's fine.
I am really happy that this did really well in the box office.
Yeah.
Me too. And it was the first movie I saw back in theaters. It was my first. I got inoculated. I was ready. I go get vaccinated, people, please. I was now ready to go see movies again, and that's out of everything I possibly could have done. The one thing I wanted to do first was just go see a movie, because God, I missed theaters.
Yeah.
And this movie slaps on the big screen. The colors, the animation, the sound, all of it's perfect on the big screen. Ruben, you saw it on the big screen, right?
Oh yes, I definitely did. And man, oh man, it felt good to be back in theaters.
Yeah.
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 I saw it when it first came out, and it was just like, oh,
Hopefully,
that's next to me.
you'll get a chance to see it now if theaters finally open in Canada.
Yeah, no kidding.
With that, I bring us to closing thoughts. And Fee, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to give on this lovely movie?
Thank you for making this movie. One, I just want to say, not you guys. You guys didn't make the movie, but I'm saying the creators of the movie. Thank you so much for like making it. Thank you for not feeling the pressure of trying to make it even like enhancing it to a point where it's non-recognizable or just not associated with the actual like manga arc, because it's really exciting to hear that it's actually a part of the manga. So
Yeah.
thumbs up for that. God, fuck you guys though for toying at my emotions, because I had hope that we were going to see Rengoku make it out of there. Whew.
R.I.P. Rengoku, he would have loved the McRib.
Oh my god. No, I think it was fabulously done. Even though I don't like centipedes. And I'm very excited to watch this winter season because it comes out winter 2022, eh? Like season 2.
Yes, it's
Oh,
the
man.
winter season. Yeah.
Winter season's gonna be crazy because
Yeah,
that
winter
is-
season's fucking stacked. That's Attack on Titan too.
Oh,
Attack on Titan, That's when Jujutsu Kaisen 0 comes out, and then that's also when this comes out.
Yeah, it's a stacked season.
Already. Just 3
Mhm.
things. Already
No big deal.
instantly stacked.
Yeah, no big deal.
Ruben, do you have any closing thoughts?
I do appreciate that this was related to the manga. Like, I know I hate it when anime movies are not at all related to the story arc that is currently happening in the manga, and
Hmm.
it just drives me fucking nuts. It drives me up the wall. Okay, um, I love how it was, Ryan, like you had said, just 5 episode arc into a nice tight 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I do love. Yeah, there was nothing flashy about this movie besides like
I mean, what's already flashy about Demon Slayer?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You Ufotable killing it with that animation style.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, it was really good. I'm excited to see where the story goes next.
All right, and with that, that leaves me for some closing thoughts. Yeah, and my thoughts are, this movie's fucking fantastic. It has such beautiful moments that are just sometimes fun and calm. Like first meeting Rengoku and him just being delicious, delicious. Eating up all the takoyaki can is amazing. The dream sequences are hilarious. Some are tragic, but Zenitsu's and Inosuke's are just fun. They're just fun little moments. And then it crushes you at the end with the mother of Rengoku's mom and all that.
And something
Tears
in my
rolling
eye.
down the face. And all in all, it's a beautiful package. It's a beautiful film. It I can see why it got critically acclaimed. I can see why it did so well at box offices. If you are a Demon Slayer fan, please do yourself the honors and watch this. I promise you probably already have. But if for some god known reason you haven't watched it, it's fantastic. And with that, it brings us to my favorite part. And this one's actually going to be a bit more touching than usual, which is Manga Corner. We are going to talk about how one of the greatest mangakas to ever do it, someone who influenced the game more than anyone, influenced Western media, Japanese, either side. Kentaro Miya, the mangaka for Berserk, sadly died before we've done the last episode of this.
Oh no.
And I just wanted to talk about Berserk for a hot second because if you have not read or watched any of Berserk, do yourself a favor and please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ruben.
No, I'm saying I haven't watched it.
Berserk is, if you've ever in the past 20 years watched something that is dark high fantasy, um, this is taken from, I believe, Super Eye Patch Wolf, sad boy with big sword. Um, it was inspired by Berserk. It was inspired by Guts. This man dedicated his life to writing this epic story
Okay.
over 30 to 40 fucking years of his life just writing it.
Mm.
And even though this masterpiece will never see a conclusion, do yourself an honor and do him the honors of please reading this. It is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Characters such as Cloud, the dynamics of Cloud, Strife, and Sephiroth were taken directly from Berserk. A majority of Dark Souls and Bloodborne have heavy, heavy inspirations from it. Daedric armor from Skyrim and Oblivion is all inspired by the way demons look in Berserk. It is
Jesus.
when people talk about their how some directors are considered your director's favorite director. That's how the creator of Berserk is looked at for a lot of media.
Yeah.
It's your director's favorite manga. It is the mangaka's favorite manga.
Okay.
So take a chance out of your time, read it, or watch the 1997 anime. They are both fantastic. And let his legacy live on. That's really all I got to say on Berserk. And with that, we get 2 plugs. Fee, what are you plugging today?
Whew. Well,
Did you write it down this
I'm.
time?
I did not write it down this time. I have 2 things to plug. One, actually, no, I have a few things. One being Point in Progress. You can find us over at youtube.com/point in progress and twitch.tv/point in progress. Frank just released a very good review about the Pulse 3D headset.
It was really
Also,
good. It was
it was
really good.
it was so good. I laughed really hard during the entire thing. It was really great. So please check it out if you haven't already. We also are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow of our predictions and how everyone failed except for me because I'm great. I'm just saying. And then we're also going to be doing a party stream, but I can't specifically talk about what's happening. I'm also Twitch streaming myself. I've been playing a lot of demos at twitch.tv/Serenix.
I've noticed that. Has any of those demos really stuck out?
So many of them.
Okay.
A lot of the point and click and mystery ones have been really good. A Night is Grey is great. Chinatown Detective Agency is also a really good one. I didn't live
That's a
stream
great
Link.
name.
It's so good. Also, it breaks the fourth wall of like point and click detective games where they're like, "Oh, we definitely don't recommend that you Google it." Like in this game, it's like we know you're gonna Google it, and for that reason, we're gonna mess you up by saying, "Here's a stamp. Tell us which specific dynasty it's from and what city it was used
Oh my
back
god.
in that particular time period." And this isn't easy because a lot of these places obviously are in China, so you're like, "Oh, good. I don't know." So you're like looking up these stamps. I'm going to be doing a video about it because it was so funny because Frank and I could not figure out where these stamps were from. Um,
That sounds fantastic.
and speaking of Stadia, where bi-weekly we talk about Stadia and everything great about it because sometimes you just need to think positively about things that people don't think so great about. So, thumbs up.
I definitely agree. And Ruben, what are you plugging?
Fee, I wanted to let you know I bought an Amazon Luna controller, and it might be better. It might be. I am plugging this channel. You know, we
Nice.
did shit ton of E3 coverage. Go check that out if you haven't gotten a chance to. I am plugging. I'm playing through Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, or Rift Away, or something.
Rift Apart.
No, I know. It's a really good, beautiful looking game, guys.
Oh,
It's so good.
Nice.
it feels
Um,
so good.
and the next game I will be playing is Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm going back in, Ryan.
Ooh.
Are you, are you
Back in. I
are you
got
going back into what should have been game of the year if we had your vote?
yeah, yeah. It's just like I was listening to the soundtrack today, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so fucking hyped."
Have you not played the DLC yet?
No, I haven't. I was gonna
Oh,
finish Ratchet and Clank
you're
first.
you're in for a good time.
Yeah. Should I
Yeah.
play the DLC first, or should I play the game?
Play
over
through
again?
it and then play the DLC. The DLC is definitely a side port. There's little things that tie in, but it's definitely a side port.
Okay,
So
to be clear, I have finished the Final Fantasy VII remake.
yes, I know you
Okay,
have.
okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
I've
And
spoiler talked that game.
this is true. This is true. And last thing I will plug is we have a demo. We're doing a playthrough of a demo called Toem next week, I believe. That's going to be with Tessa, I think on Monday, but I'm not sure. I got to double check with her. Right
I thought they
after.
were on vacation.
Yeah, but I think they come back next week, if I'm not
Oh, okay.
mistaken. Yeah. So that's going to be right after Marvel Mondays, which Jesus fucking Christ, guys, Loki. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's all I got.
And I would just be plugging my Twitter like normal, which is Ryan the Lion 3055 for anime hot takes, whatever I'm up to, and probably whatever this channel's up to as well, because most content I'm there. So
Yeah.
with that, see you, Space Cowboy. Good day and good night.
I'm sorry. I have one more thing. I'm sorry. I
Oh
just
God,
remembered. I made a Twitch. Not a Twitch. I made a TikTok account for the channel. So
we have a TikTok account.
I just made it today, and I will be posting up clips like this one.
Oh,
I'm sure.
fantastic!
And
And
yeah, I think that's it. Next week we have a whole bunch of stuff. I think we might be doing a Luca review, but I'll let you guys know more about that next week.
sounds good.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a fantastic